This week on Politics International.
A global conflict continues to escalate. We'll look at what exactly North Korea is threatening us with and what the roots of the conflict are.
We'll also have expert analysis from R.P. Smith, who was stationed in South Korea.
This is Politics International.
Hello, I'm Justin Wisnicki.
And I'm Natalie Aldecoa.
North Korea has cooled down a bit over the past few weeks, but tensions are still high between Washington, D.C. and Pyongyang.
Over the past month and a half, North Korea has been threatening to hit Hawaii and the U.S. territory of Guam with nuclear weapons.
But why would a country with a starving population and no imports or exports threaten such a superpower? Over the past 50 years, North Korea has built up their army to the fourth largest in the world.
They also have nuclear weapons, although they have no way of delivering them to us. So Justin, why do you think that such a small country like North Korea would be so hostile to a country with such great defenses?
Well, that's the question I think everyone has, Natalie. North Korea, I think this is more of an inner move to up the propaganda in their own country for Kim Jong-un's political benefits of, telling his nation that we can destroy the United States. And it's part of the lies they've been fed for, decades now. It's really hard to comprehend as an American what goes on with the state-controlled media and all these other means that the government uses to, disperse lies throughout the nation.
I don't understand why he has to threaten us internationally if he can just take his small controlled state news and let his people know that he's threatening us.
Well, I think that this is another question that a lot of people have, and maybe Mr. R.P. Smith can address it for us. I'm here with Mr. Smith, who is stationed in South Korea, which is a country that shares a border with North Korea, and he's going to give us a little bit of insight as to what that was like. So, where were you stationed in South Korea?
It's Camp Casey, which is just outside a little town called Tongdishan, about 45 kilometers south of the demilitarized zone.
And when were you stationed there?
Ooh, that's a good question. I was stationed there from 1998 to 1999.
What effects did North Korea and their threats have on your living in South Korea?
Very little. If the North Koreans started rattling their sabers, making threats, we would have a little tighter curfew. We'd be at a higher threatcom level, so we'd have to, normally we'd have to be prepared to deploy in 24 hours. If the threatcom level went up, the commander would drop it down to 12 hours, then down to 8 hours, like that.
So, did you ever visit the demilitarized zone, the DMZ?
I did. My wife came over and visited, and I took her up there. It was a pretty interesting
Romantic,
place.
yeah.
Yes, very romantic vacation.
Was the border security very tight? Were North Koreans intimidating? Were they threatening people along the border?
They weren't threatening people, but there was very tight security. Mm-hmm. All of the South Korean units that occupy the border, they all have to be over 6 feet tall. They all have to be black belt in some martial art. So they're very well-trained, well-prepared units up there. Mm-hmm. And some places along the border, they're only 10 to 15 meters away from each other, kind of just staring each other down.
So, did you ever end up fighting or engaging with North Koreans at any point during your time there?
I was just a staff officer, so I was doing PowerPoint presentations.
Okay. Is there anything else you would like to add, anything about North Korea that you would like to give us insight to?
If the North Koreans were to visit South Korea, they would see how inefficient and poorly run their country is. Seoul is a vibrant, busy city, and then you look across the border at nighttime, and you see nothing but black. It's just an amazing how the two countries took two different paths, and the results of those two paths.
One last question. Do you think North Korea would be able to live up to any of the threats that they're currently issuing us? Or is it more?
Not at all. Not at all. And the South Koreans are very well armed, very well trained. They can take care of themselves. The United States provides forces more for moral support than military tactical support.
Okay. Thank you very much. And that concludes our interview with Mr. Smith.
And our show.
Thank you so much for joining in to Politics International, the roots of the conflict with North Korea. Join us again next week for another special edition.